Hello, my name is Tamara Buckin with Reclaim Initiative. This is day 12 of an Advent journey to discover a whole new world. Advent is the beginning of a new season, a time of anticipation, a time of light shining into darkness and utterly eradicating it. And on my way home today, as I listened to the news, all I heard was one really devastating situation after another, and my heart grew heavy. But it's when I turn and I look into the kingdom age and discover that there is so much hope, there is so much anticipation of discovering a whole new way to live in a whole new season. And what that does is it gives us a vision for how we can live in anticipation and hope despite our circumstances and despite the deconstruction that's happening on a massive level that COVID helped to unleash. It wasn't COVID that was the true deconstruction. It's the shift from one season to another, from what I call the church season into the kingdom age. And in the church season, there has been a belief system that I want to bring a different viewpoint to today. And that belief system is that after we die, we will go to heaven. But what if we actually can live that life today? In one of the Gospels of John in the Bible, if you explore Jesus outside the lens of religion, you find that he is a very attractive person, one who marched to a different beat than the culture and the religious system around him. And at this point, one of his friends dies. His friend is Lazarus, who has two sisters, Mary and Martha. They lived in Bethany, which was 7 miles from Jerusalem, and Jesus was very close to them. Jesus got a word a couple of days before that Lazarus was very sick, but he didn't go to Lazarus. He waited, and his disciples were surprised when he said, "Let's go to Bethany to see Lazarus." And they were like, "Lord, is it safe?" Because the religious leaders were becoming increasingly angry and furious with him, plotting to destroy and take his life. And Jesus said, "Lazarus has fallen asleep, and we need to go and wake him up." And the disciples thought because he was sick, he was sleeping. But Jesus meant that he had died, and there was something extraordinary about to take place. So when they got there, both of the sisters were crying, and one of them said, "Lord, both of them said, if you had only been here, Lazarus wouldn't have died." And Jesus responded to Martha by saying, "If you believe, you'll see resurrection take place today." And she said, "Well, I know what'll happen on the final day," her good doctrine coming forth. But Jesus was like, "You don't have to wait that long." And then he came to the tomb, and with people all around him, the mourners, which would come and they would wail loudly, and the religious leaders who couldn't stay away from a good crowd, and the family members and the community in the village of Bethany. There was a lot of people there, and Jesus cried out, "Lazarus, come out!" Lazarus was in a cave. And what happened? It wasn't a nothing, no power, no results. It was a man wrapped in grave clothes coming from a grave where he'd been put 4 days earlier. Lazarus was resurrected. And that was a sign in the natural of what was about to take place with Jesus. It was also a sign to those of us in the kingdom age that to everyone from that point forward, that we don't have to wait till the final day, that resurrection power is within every one of us. It's called Zoe, which is a life with meaning and passion and purpose, which starts today. It's a power that is instilled within us that we can begin to do to do the miracles and follow the way of Jesus. It's a whole new way of life. And it's a way of tapping into the frequency of life that can really shift everything. It used to be that frequency was this big, scary word that Christians would run from. But now we're discovering that the ability to heal our bodies, our emotions, ourselves, comes through aligning with the frequency of our original design. The ability for creation to be healed and reclaimed is to come into the frequency of its original design. Disease happens when our frequencies of our body or the earth or anything of any significance comes out of right alignment, right frequency, and stays